GY's Kitchen, episode 2. We're making some smoothies today, and this one's going out to KD, Kyle the Gripe. You know who you are. You're asking for this one, so here we are. This is the recipe for my post-run green smoothie. I'm always drinking it at Anderson's before I have a beer, and I usually have it a couple times throughout the week too. So this is a bit of a rough estimate as to what I put in, but generally speaking, this is all she wrote. So here we go. We got 3.5 bananas. You can go 3 to 5 bananas, something like that. They're good for you. We got a few fresh ones here, and let's fold them in half. We got one frozen one. I'm gonna save that one till the end. I just usually like to put the frozen ones in at the end, and you'll see why, because it kind of helps sink the greens down a little bit. So I usually kind of keep the soft stuff towards the bottom, and yeah, like the frozen stuff towards the top. So I've got one clementine here. Just have a bunch of them left over. Got some, just a couple little pieces of cucumber here. Whoopie-doo. Get them in there. It is a green smoothie, so you got to throw green stuff in. We also have 5 strawberry tops. This is very important. Lots of people throw these out, and they're good for you. So Linz has her strawberry in her oatmeal every morning, so why not waste anything. Got 5 dates here, just for a little added sweetness, extra little bump of goodness. We got a little tiny piece of ginger here. I usually freeze these. I just buy a couple of big pieces like that, chop them up, freeze them. They're good for a long time, keeps the colds away. A couple little pieces of bitter melon, also green smoothie, and they're a little bitter. Definitely don't put too much of that in. Those tiny little pieces go a long way, but it helps balance the smoothie out, which is awesome. Also got a frozen celery here. I'm just putting that in because it's kind of soft, kind of defrost it a little bit. But yeah, celery is good for you. And now we're going in with just a little bit of turmeric. Honestly, just a couple little okay, 1 tap, 2 tiny taps. Megan's probably gonna freak out on me for that one because she is the tap wizard. But it's so good for anti-inflammatory. I just got back from a run, so that turmeric combined with the black pepper just kind of helps with the anti-inflammatory properties in the turmeric. Science rules. So anyways, getting that in there. And had a good run yesterday and a decent run this morning, just a little 5K, but it's snowy as all hell. So I'm just adding a few little hemp seeds in there. Just a little protein bump and omega-3s. Sometimes I'll put flaxseed in for omega-3s, but because I'm adding the hemp seeds, which sometimes I don't, perfect. And yeah, now we're getting to the green stuff. So we got some pumpkin seeds here. Just maybe a tablespoon. Not a lot of pumpkin seeds, something like that. This is just mixed greens, honestly. This is lettuce greens. Sometimes I put kale in, sometimes I put romaine in. It's whatever I have left over. So this is some mixed greens as well as some spinach. And I just get it all in here. It's usually about 3 good handfuls. And yeah, that's pretty much bang on. Washed. Green, delicious, good for you. And then, like I said at the start, I always put the frozen ones in on top. We got the frozen banana, and then just a few frozen pineapples. Also super good for anti-inflammatory properties, and it's sweet and delicious. So get it in there. Oh yeah, we got our coffee here too. We don't not sip in the GY kitchen. Is it spiked? It's Monday morning. What do you think? All right, so I basically just filled it up with some water, and it's about 3/4 of the way up. You can kind of squish it down a little bit if you want, but however much water you put in is, you know, it's dependent on you. If you want a thicker smoothie, put less water in. If you want a smoothie bowl, I hardly put any water in at all, or you can also put some plant milk in too, because why not? Adds a little bit of creaminess, but the hemp also makes it really kind of that creamy texture as well. So we're just gonna blend away. right, now we're gonna go in for the taste test. It's green, it is wholesome, it is good for you, and it's delicious, I hope. Oh yeah, I can kind of count on that anytime. Depending on the kind of greens you put in, I mean, you get a little bit of a different flavor profile, but you don't really taste them all that much, and it's such an easy and delicious way to get your greens, and it just helps you recover after any kind of a workout, really. I mean, it's got all the macros that you need in there, all the protein, carbs, a little bit of fat from the pumpkin seeds. It's just so good. Lots of people ask me for this one, but Kyle especially, you're always asking me at Run Club, and last week I told you I wasn't gonna let you down. I wanted to get this video out and make it just for you, and if anybody else gets a kick out of it,